a cold serial medial production. Dive into the abyss of creativity.
The summer breeze was blowing softly as Julie rocked ever so slightly in the oversized hammock. There were two options lying in front of Julie. She had one of the largest decisions she has ever had to make gnawing at her. Leave her family, her home, and the place she has always known, or leave with Eric and go into the world of secrets and deception. She trusted Eric, but she would have to say goodbye to the person she was before, the friends, and her whole existence up into this point. Either way, she will have to leave something behind, and she is not sure what. Zephyr Labs, a titan of biotech engineering and cybernetic innovation, hovered at the brink of a breakthrough in human cybernetic development. She had been working closely as an understudy to Eric Sanchez, head developer on the Omicron Machine Learning Trials, master programmer. It was always hard for Julie to say no to him. He wanted her to join him on a black book project that could change humanity forever. It is so classified that even talking about it to her parents would have them taken away in a black van in the middle of the night. She opened her eyes. This little cluster of trees at the edge of the family farm was her favorite spot anywhere on Cora. She has been all over the world, seeing everything from the mountain city of Drilo to barren sands of Covert. Spent a lot of time on the beach of Grals, even sailed on military ships in the Panier Ocean. But nothing compared to this hammock under the tree she has watched grow taller season after season. This very well could be the last time she would look at the leaves gently rustling and seeming to wave goodbye. They will be taken care of by Jake, trust me on this. We are on the cusp of human evolution, one life to change the lives of an entire species. I need you by my side, the voice of Eric echoed in her head. No one has a way with tech like you do. She knew the decision she had to make, and she hated it. Her family would be informed of her unintentional and untimely death on a job site. They would be paid handsomely for her unfortunate accidental death by the Zephyr Corporation. She could only imagine her mother breaking down and burying her face in her father's big chest. The pain of the thought stung her to the core, but she could make lives better for everyone. She could bring an end to disease and even death itself. With a deep mournful sigh, she reached over to the ashtray on the table and grabbed the half-smoked cigarillo. She slid the lighter out her pocket and let the flame dance on the burnt end of the blunt. She inhaled deeply, knowing this was about to change and it wouldn't be easy. Her years of working in robotics and biosoftware made her the prime candidate for the project. She exhaled a large cloud and watched as it got caught in the breeze and lazily drifted away. As the ember flickered into the woods, so too did her destiny. Julie stood, eyes fixed on the horizon. Did she really have a choice though, she thought. She had worked with Zephyr long enough to know what the board wants is what it gets. She was like that cloud, and Zephyr had blown her into a corner. She heading back up to the quaint house on the hill. She could hear the music playing loudly in the garage. She could imagine her father's legs peeking out from under whatever hunk of machinery he was working on. Daddy's little gearhead, she smiled at his name with another pang of sorrow in her chest. As she entered the open garage, her eye fell on the big man under an oversized exoskeleton of some sort of mech. He was always tinkering with something. Before she could say a word, he called from underneath, "Will you hand me the 9/30th Spectre wrench?" She walked over to the oversized tool cabinet. She smiled to herself at the OCD nature of her father. Everything has its place, and there is a place for everything, he would always say. She reached for the wrench and walked it over to the big man on the floor. "So, what if I told you I have to go to another job?" Julie said as she put the wrench in the outstretched hand of her father. "I'd say you're always off trying to save the world. Who am I to stop you?" He chuckled and grabbed the wrench and disappeared back under the mech. "I haven't told Mama yet." She hates when I go abroad. She leaned against the support beam of the big hoist holding the mech erect. They said it wouldn't be for long, just got to go work on some big compression unit out in Sierra. I hate that I told her Draxel was my last trip abroad. The lie seemed to come so naturally she almost believed it herself. Well, what's my little gearhead to do? She could hear the talk or the wrench gearing up. He rolled out from under the metal Goliath suspended above him. Stay here and not go save the world. He had the warmest grin on his large, chiseled face. It's not like we won't be able to get on without you. Your mother will be fine, she just worries about you. Yeah, you might not be able to get this hunk metal off the ground without me. Julie bent down and wiped a drop of oil off his cheek. And said, your fuse conduit is backwards on the left leg there. The corners of Julie's vision started growing dark. Everything started flickering and suddenly glitchy. Words appeared in front of her in the darkness, memory corrupted, data not found. Darkness descended, and light gave way to fragmentation. Reality blinked, rebirthing in the violent embrace of an attack. Omicron's force had knocked Julie into unconsciousness, the thread of time severed by gunpowder's scent and drone engines hummed. The smell of gunpowder and the sound of whining drone engines brought Julie back to reality. How long was she out? The voice of Voyage rang in her head, 17 minutes and 23 seconds. Welcome back Julie, I'm glad you are okay, it said in a monotone voice. Ammo reserves are at 22%, shields are at 36%. Would you like a full system diagnostic? The mech was dodging and maneuvering in and out of the shower of gunfire. Carefully returning fire to conserve power and ammo, Voyage shot a burst RPG into an oncoming assault, destroying the advancing dreadnought squad. Yes, display system status on my HUD and link me back into the OmniWeb. We are so close. As Voyage nimbly danced within the barrage, unleashing calculated fury against encroaching dreadnoughts, Julie summoned her resolve. A connection to the OmniWeb beckoned, a doorway to completion. With renewed determination, she stood at the cusp of revelation, her fingers poised to thread the tapestry of fate with her unyielding will. To be continued.
Dive into the abyss of creativity. A cold serial medial production.